So I'm going to call it email.php. Email.php, and I'm saving it into the same directory or same folder as everything else. Now, I'm actually not going to have PHP display anything on the page. I just want it to handle something in the background, so I can get rid of all of these HTML tags. Just delete them right out of there. What I do need in here is the PHP delimiters, those tags that have to wrap around everything, and it specifies this is PHP. Okay, in this PHP now, we want to test to see if we received something, and it's going to be through the post method. Okay, so did this PHP actually get something through the post? So for this, we can just say if, and we already looked in that basic PHP, it's the same syntax as JavaScript, if bracket, bracket, curly brackets. Then within the two parentheses, I'm checking to see if we got something in the post. So the syntax for that is $_post, all capital letters. So if there was something in the post, did we get something in our mailbox from the JavaScript file? If so, I want to pull those separate variables out, and actually we could just mail it off to our email. So to do that, we're going to use the PHP method mail. And in the mail method, there are 3 parameters that need to be within the brackets. Those are which email are we sending to, the subject line, and what is the body of the email. Now, I could write this all out inside of that. It can get a rather unwieldy statement because you have all of these different pieces you're tracking. So what I like to do, and it's good practice, is to create different variables that are going to hold those different information. So for example, I could create a new PHP variable called name. Now we did a variable called name in the basic PHP. So $name. And we want to pull out that name piece from the data string we sent over. So to do that, it's $_post and then a set of square brackets. That's just the syntax of it. Then within the square brackets, you're going to, in single quotes, write name. Oops, correctly though. So this refers to, if I look back at my data string, right here where we said name equals, if I put like gnome, then here I would put gnome. Those are the two things that are hooked together. So because it's this data string that's coming over, we're saying, okay, there was this in the post, we're sending it over and we're putting it into a PHP variable. We're going to do this for the rest of the information as well. $email equals $_post, square bracket, semicolon, and in between there, we called it email. So it's important that those things are the same from the data string. $_post, square brackets, semicolon, in here, it is message. Okay, so we've taken those things that we got through the post and separated them into different variables, just so that it's a little bit easier to write out this statement. So which email? In here, you're going to put whatever your email address is that you want to use, wherever it's at, okay? Comma, what do you want in the subject line? So you might have new message, message from your website, let's say. Then after the quote, I go comma, and then what do I want to see in that message? So I could just put, I probably want to know their name, their email, and everything. So you might go name was $name. And then we could put a break in there. email was whatever they said their email is. And then we could put a break. And then lastly, message and whatever their message was. Then we're going to upload this all to the server again. And then we'll test it in the browser. Because remember, PHP server-side scripting has to be tested in the browser. Okay, so then I'm going to upload this to my server. So I need the email PHP, I need the index, I need mail.js. And then I'm going to update this. So I'm going to enter my name. Email is something@gmail.com. And the message is, this is the best form I have ever seen. Okay, and then when I hit message, if all things are good, it should say, dang it. Okay, so if I want to figure out, well, why doesn't this work? What's happened? If I go back to my directory, there's going to be an error log there. Now, in Bluehost, I can view that and take a look at it. It's just loading here. And then it's going to have a list of what happened. I wouldn't have had an error in the browser console, so that's why I need to come up here and look at it. Okay, so if I view that log, I can see it says there's a syntax error expected by something on line 10. So then if I come back to my code, I can see there is an error here. This should be in quotes. So what I'm missing here is quotes around that. So that was an error, but it's important to see how do you fix an error. So I'm going to save that and re-upload it and then check it again in the browser. Okay, here I am again up in my browser. So I just need to re-upload that PHP file because I didn't change anything on any other page. So I'm going to try this again. Your name is Tanya, email. And this is the best form I've ever seen. Okay, let's try this again. Hit send. Bam, thanks for the message. We will get back to you shortly. So the only last step there is waiting for the email to come through to your whatever email you specified in your code. All right, good luck. Oh, one other thing, just when you're testing, if you're changing the PHP or the file, if you shift click, sometimes it'll ask, do you want to resend the information, which you actually don't want to do. So what you might want to do, or what's better to do, is to click up in the address bar here and hit enter, and that will just pull a fresh version of the form down. So sometimes that can be a problem for people that are just learning as well. All right, good luck.